So I'm going to share, I am sharing my screen with you right now. Again, if you have not attended the kickoff event, and even if you have, so this is the Brightspace course site, H5P Create-a-thon Brightspace course site. That's the thing that I'm demonstrating right now, where first of all you can find the recording of the kickoff event. So if you click on the link here, that will take you to the recording of the kickoff event, where we explained what H5P is and how you can use the tool to create interactive objects. Also, you can meet our learning technology coaches here if you click on this video. Now, if we go to course content, there is a number of modules already created here. It's a bit slow here on my end. So on the left-hand side, we have computer engineering, biology, foreign languages, literature and culture, process engineering, math, geoscience, pharmacy. So in each module, there is a number of activities. So if I click on computer engineering, you will see 3 different pages created by tech coaches with examples of interactive activities created by means of H5P tools. So I'm going to demonstrate for this show and tell. So what I created, I've done 2 folders, one for foreign languages, one for literature and culture. So this one is the most recent one that I've created and actually have used this week in one of my literature courses. So I'm teaching a course in Russian literature. That's Introduction to the Russian Literature of the 20th Century. And in this module, I would like my students to focus on a particular author and his novel. This novel is a lengthy read. It's around 500 pages. What you can see here is one of the activities that I would like my students to use, and I hope that they find it motivating. So first of all, it's just a section of the lesson that I'm using right now for demonstration purposes. That is what the students will see when they go to my Brightspace course site for this class. So I'm asking them, and I assume that they have already read the novel. Now I want them to start interacting with the novel, if I may put it this way. So I asked them to review the main characters, and there's quite an extensive list of these characters in the novel, and it's from my experience, it's pretty difficult for them to memorize all of them. So I would like them to kind of play with these characters if you wish. So that's what I've created for them. I would like them to use this activity to check how well they remember the characters. In order to do that, first of all, I give them a hint. I kind of tell them you can go to the following guide. You can use it as a point of reference, and they can click on this link. So I'm not going to do that right now. It will take them to the guide where they can see the description of each character. It's kind of a preparation exercise for them. Now I've created a flashcard type activity, and in this activity they need to read the description of a character and then type the name of this character. Because the spelling of the characters may be different in different translations, in different academic articles as well. What I usually do to help students complete this activity, I provide the spelling of the names of the characters before the activity so that they can use this particular spelling. Let's say they want to do the first one. So one of the novel's central characters appears in Moscow as a mysterious professor. So that is the correct answer. They type in the correct answer, and they can find it here as well. Then they click on check, and here we go. That was the correct one. So then we will move to the second one. So here I'm talking about this female character, and then so they read the description of the character and they type in the name, and I'm making a mistake on purpose. That's the wrong answer, and then they get to see the correct answer. Now, the images that I use in this exercise, I used to use them in class just to show them as PowerPoint slides or just get them from the website. I know students are really motivated by looking at these images. They usually ask me questions. Where did you get the images from? Do they come from a book? Who's the illustrator? So I want them to kind of interact with the images as well. Then I provide a link to the website where I took the images from. Actually, students are really motivated by looking at these images because I tell them, so these are the photographs from a project, a photo project. The photographer is a woman. She's a fan of the writer under analysis, and the models for these projects, they were Russian celebrities, and then the students really like it, so they go back and forth. So that's the way I use this type of H5P object in teaching my literature class on this novel, on this author. I also use H5P objects in my language classes, and I'm going to show you an example right now. This one is a bit shorter. One of the most difficult things for my students when I teach Russian as a foreign language is verbs. So it's really hard for them to get the concept of Russian verbs and the conjugation patterns. So again, this is not the whole lesson that you can see here. This is only one image that I've taken from that class. So after the students have gone through all the conjugation patterns of several verbs, and we do one verb at a time, so I would like them to see if they can spot them in an authentic setting. In this case, I'm using a Russian advertisement. So, and I'm working only with only one verb. In particular, I would like them to review the verb to leave. That's one of the first verbs that's introduced in elementary Russian language courses. So I would like them to have a look at the image, and I'm kind of shooting two birds with one stone here because it's a good reading exercise and it's not a textbook, it's like a real life context. So they read the words, practice reading, and then I ask them to find the verb that we have covered before. And this is the verb, and I have a hint for them so that when they click on the question mark here, they see the translation of the literal translation of the phrase, and then the verb under analysis here is in cursive. Another activity that I've created for my language classes, that's for students of more advanced level. When we teach face-to-face in a classroom, I ask students if they would like to sing with me. I usually tell that I'm not a very good singer, but I will sing with them in order to help them learn Russian. So I play a song and I just use, it can be a YouTube video or anything, or it can be just audio of the song. After that, I ask them to read the lyrics of a section of the song. In this case, it's the chorus of this song. And then we are working on a particular grammar topic, so I would like them to highlight the personal pronouns that are used in the accusative case. So it's more advanced one. And then they have to find the correct one. When they hover over words, so you can see they can click on them. So I will just do this random choice. Yeah, and then I click on check. So I made all possible mistakes over here. Then they can either retry or they can have a look at the solution. So they were supposed to find these three pronouns. So that's the way I use H5P objects in my teaching. And now I will hand it over to, I believe, Mojamal is going next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maina.
So
Could you
let me,
please submit me
yeah,
the presentation?
I'll stop sharing my screen now. Yeah.
So I'm going to share one of the H5P content that I have prepared. This is under the process engineering department, and this is a drilling engineering, and this is an introductory lecture about an overview of drilling mud circulation system. So I have prepared a sample lecture plan for drilling mud and its mud circulation systems. I have used one images, and that image described the complete mud circulation system starting from the mud pump to the standpipe, mud hose, blowout preventer, drill bit, and this is a closed loop system. And also I have added some additional descriptions of if a student can click on each point, so they will get more details about each component. And also I have actually used the right of use. This is this credit goes to this website, and I have acknowledged the original author of this content. And the next phase, I want to share about a simple quiz. This is complete the mud flow sequence. So the goal is for the student to complete the path of the mud that flowing around the systems. This starts from the mud pump to the standpipe, and then to the mud hose, and then BOP, and the drill bit, and then this return line. So what a student will do, there are some blank spot with a different component, and a student will complete the sequence. So I just randomly fill up some of them. And now I can check my answer. So it shows that I have made some correct answer and some wrong answer. So, and also I can see the correct answer for this system, circulation systems. And also in the next step, Marina just showed the similar topic. This is a statement given here, and students are requested to find the chemicals in within the drilling fluid. So a student can click a student can select any one of the word, and this is the chemical ingredient, and this is the chemical ingredient, this one, and maybe this one, this one. Oops. So now I can check. So it shows that I have checked a 4 correct answer and 2 wrong answer. So I got a score of 2 out of 4. And also we can adjust the score for the wrong answer in the settings of H5P. In the next step, this is summary or say find the correct answer from the lectures. So student will choose the correct answer, says click this one. So it shows that the wrong answer, and also I can select this one, this wrong answer, and this one, I think this is the correct answer. And in the next step, there is another task. This is the level the figure. So we have a mud circulation system at the very beginning, and now I remove the name, and I can request the student to find out the each name of the each component. So they can drag and drop the name in the component. And I just complete solving this one as randomly, and now I can check the answer. It shows that I have 3 correct answer and the 3 wrong answer. And the next item, I have prepared a YouTube video and with embedded H5P content. So there are lots of educational videos available in the YouTube, or if you have your own YouTube videos, you can add some additional content within the video. So let's play a few moment from the video. So within the video, you can add the questions for the students so that they can follow the video and answer the questions. So this is, I'll check this one, and then they can and they can also select the answer. So you can even ask for any particular input, not just like a multiple choice. And you can sometimes add, without any question, you can highlight some of the critical findings from the video also. So this is just like a general statement. And also you can add embedded additional images within your videos. And also you can add some additional reading materials within the video as a hyperlink. So if I click on this link, it will open with a new window with the desired link. And then let's see. And also you can answer for true and false. And this is called the hotspot. So within a video, we can focus on a particular component and highlight about a particular component. So let's see how it's work. And now I move to the end of the video, and also you can add some summary from the videos. And you can add some quiz from the videos also. This one. So that's all from my side.
Thank you very much, Mojamal. The next presenter with his H5P object and interactive activity is Shiva.
Hi, I'm Shivam. I'm a PhD student in mathematics. So the H5P object that I've made is the interactive book. So this is sort of like a full combined object in which you can use different H5P project objects in just one book. So it takes a shape of a book. So let me just open it in a full screen. So it's just a book in which you can have different elements. So the one I have made is sort of can be used before the lecture to generate interest about the topic. So I just give a definition of the surface, which would be covered in the lecture, but just to want to engage them, so I give them an activity to construct surfaces through simple activity of taking some. So I write them what are the requirements to just take a sheet of paper, marker, and glue, and then there are some steps. And in order to show the steps that I want them to take, I use this object of this images back to back in a sequence order so that I can show them what are the steps I want them to take. So you just take a sheet of paper, you draw markers, and then you paste the object according to the marks. The instructions can be given above that, and then they can just follow this to see what are the steps they have to take to construct a surface, and they have a surface. And so this kind of book can go on with different elements. You can have different pages of that. So maybe in the second page, I want them to guess the name. I can ask the question, and then they can click this to reveal what is it called. So this object, this shape is called torus. And then I can just, so that they know the construction again, I can embed some kind of graphics in this from different sources. So this one I've taken from Wikipedia, which basically show them the construction again so that they know which one is there. And one can do this with different objects. This is just a simple example. And to, once they start getting curious about things, you can have a video which plays automatically to tell them more about how to construct different surfaces. And you can take it from YouTube or any other hosted services. And so you can keep going pages. You can have like different pages embedded from Wikipedia, or you could have written some of your own material or have some quiz in the end. So this is just, and then you have like navigation in the left. So it just give a nice interactive book in which you can have all the other objects that we've seen in the H5P that people have made with the fill in the blanks and all. You can have them all, and then they can navigate through this. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Shivam. And now I'll hand it over to Sarah.
Hi, everyone. So I am a graduate student in the Master of Arts program studying archaeology, and I'm just going to show you what I've created with H5P for use for biology courses. So traditionally, in biology, you use phylogenetic trees to understand the evolutionary steps that occurred to create various animals. So I just created this as an example of what one usually looks like. And so then I wanted to try out the branching scenario with H5P, and it didn't turn out the way exactly that I wanted it to, but it was a really interesting tool. And so I just wanted to show you what some of the possibilities are for that. So it shows up kind of like a scenario. So it's asking you a question, and then you choose among the answers, possible answers, and then that will take you to a different route within the object itself. So you can have multiple different directions to tell you just based on what the student chooses. So I did this on marine vertebrate evolutionary steps. And so you start the course, and as you can see here, is the question is common vertebrate ancestors, and then you can choose to go down the road of jawless fishes versus jaws. So you can see up here, you can go right or left. And then if you choose jawless fishes, it tells you what species are within that grouping. So hagfishes, and then an image. And the way that I have it set up is that if you go to one of the branches that's the ending, it brings you back to the next question so that you can continue down the evolutionary steps. So if I click on proceed, I can then choose either cartilaginous fishes or four limbs, so basically sharks, or continue down the evolutionary path. And if I do that, it just takes me to the next question and the next question, and then to the final solution, which is seals. And so that's my object. I don't think it's particularly useful for phylogenetic trees, but it could be really useful in decision making, and also creating scenarios to teach students about particular differences. I saw an example online about using it to interpret art, and so there was one pathway that went down Enlightenment art versus what was it? Renaissance. And so you follow down those paths and learn about the artists and the art style, and it seemed really interesting. So that's my object.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Learning technology coaches, anybody else would like to share their objects with the audience?
I can share my first object
Okay, yeah,
if
we
anybody
can do that.
wants to see it.
Sure.
Again, I prepared it for biology. I'll share my screen again. So it's under the biology heading, and it's phylum Mollusca. So it's basically, I created a hotspot object, which is this here, to help students with definitions for the various parts of a diagram. So when I took marine biology, a lot of that sort of information was in the textbook, and it was all along the side with definitions. And I found it kind of confusing to try and apply the definitions to the diagrams themselves. So this H5P object helps to embed that information and hopefully allow students to better encode the different parts of a shell or diagram. So there's the Periostracum, and if I click on the hotspot, like I said, it gives you a definition of what it is and what it's formed out of, and some more details. And same with the nacreous layer and the prismatic layer. But yeah, so that's my first object that I created.
Thank you, Sarah. That's pretty interesting, and I find useful in my courses as well, as I have demonstrated. Javad would like to share his object with you, and he's been having some issues with the sound, but let's try.
Well, I can show my object, but I wanted to just mention some point that, if you want to, I'm going to share my screen, then I'm going to talk about that. It's about a limitation for one of the objects that you want to use. It's if you want to use just like what Marina showed about the singing YouTube object, that object only, so far, it only can be used with Chrome browser. So if you're using any other browser, you cannot use that object. So if you're a student using Safari or Explorer or any other things, they cannot answer the questions. And one issue that you may face here, that's my MON resources, H5P resources. When you want to embed your object, well, maybe it's better for me to show you my object first. So yeah, that was the object that I made. That's the French 1500 comprehensive exam. Before COVID, when we could go to the classes, profs asked students to have a comprehensive exam to test their pronunciation. So in this object, what you can do, you can start the course. That's just a video of the object. And you can see the question, and students can record their voices as the answers. So if the question here is bonjour, they can have different answers for this question. So if they press push to speak here, and then they can say the answer, bonjour. If the answer is correct, they get 1 point. And if the answer is not correct, they're not going to get anything. So for example, for this question, we have a couple of options for the answer. It could be ça va, ça va bien, or whatever you put to your system as the answers. So as long as students answer choose one of those, you can get the correct point. The point that I wanted to mention about this object is when you want to embed your object into your bright space, you have to activate your microphone in order to be able to record the voices. And okay, I'm going to continue with this one. So for example, here is what's up. If you give wrong answer, we don't know, if I just say we don't know, as you can see, the computer can hear what you said and can compare that one with one of the correct answer. You can have multiple of correct answers. So yeah, you don't get the points for this one. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you the points that I wanted to mention. So when you want to embed your object, if you make that a specific object, in your code here, what you have to add this line. You have to say hello equals to microphone, and that should be coded. If you don't use that one, your student cannot record their voices. And this part is missed from the script. So that's just one note to add to the presentation.
Thank you very much, Javad, and the comments were really useful. Sometimes it takes time to figure out all these tiny little details to make sure it works properly. Okay, thank you very much. So, any other tech coaches who would like to share their creations? I would like to remind also that the tech coaches will be available today till 5 p.m. To help you create H5P objects. So in order to get access to a tech coach, go to the Brightspace course site. That's the one that we've been sharing with you today. And you should have the link to it already. You should have received it in an email from me. So you go there and coaches are available there in WebEx rooms. So feel free to collaborate with your colleagues, creating an object for your course or for your courses. If you do not have time to do it today or this week, we are available next week and anytime during an academic year. Actually, let me know that you would like to work with a tech coach and I will connect you with one. Okay, I see there is a question here in chat. Can we copy H5P content for my course from another instructor? I believe you can if you have permission from another instructor to copy components of his or her course to your course. I believe you can copy that, but that's something that we can test as well. I have not done it myself yet, but we can try to test it out. Another question is, can we make H5P objects within the Brightspace? H5P objects can be created only in the H5P environment, and then you can grab the embed code and embed it, actually insert into your Brightspace course set. You cannot create an actual H5P object in the Brightspace course site. You have to work from the Moodle environment, H5P Mon environment, and then transfer it to your Brightspace course site. The only thing probably that I should mention, and we've seen several options today when you can create quiz-like, test-like activities for students when you would like to test their knowledge of something. That's a great way to do it. The only thing is that when you're using an H5P object in your Brightspace course site, you cannot actually link it to the gradebook. So the activities that we have just demonstrated, they're a great way to show something, to demonstrate something, or to let students check how well they've memorized something, but they're not links to the gradebook. If you want a quiz or a test that is going to be evaluated and it goes towards final evaluation, that has to be created in Brightspace. And the other thing is that H5P tools, they are evolving all the time. For example, branching scenario that Sarah has demonstrated today, that's a relatively new tool. So which means if there is something that you find there and you are not sure how it will work or whether it will work at all, let us know. So tech coaches are out there to help you test it out. We can investigate different features of a particular tool and then let you know how to use it or whether we can or should use it in the courses at all. Or maybe we can suggest an alternative. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating. Learning technology coaches, thank you very much for your presentations. Thank you, everybody, and have a good day.